Today, we discuss Miro. Listen, when it comes to running client workshops, the dream, of course, is to get those creative juices flowing, right? But typically what ends up happening is thousands of hours get wasted because of poorly facilitated meetings. So I have Maya with me today. She's a consultant who runs Fortune 100 workshops, from leadership training to team building, and she has the insider tip on what makes things work. Maya?
Thank you, Jason. I've been doing this a long time. My number one tip is to bring everyone into that visual collaboration platform. So personally, I use Miro, and it's completely changed how I interact with the room. You have to give people a way to feel like they're in the room even when they're not. That's something you can do easily in Miro. Otherwise, they've seen the same slides and format 1,000 times.
Falling asleep, eyes glazing over, yawns, all that.
Exactly. When people follow me on the Miro board, everyone is literally going on a journey with me. We're adding thoughts, we're reacting, and we're voting for the best ideas. It's great.
Connective magic. I like it. That's MIRO.com.
No breaks. No breaks. No fear. No fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
Only a couple of weeks of the Speedway season left, but what a week in British Speedway as Great Britain's Speedway team are world champions for the first time since 1989.
What a moment for Britain! Great Britain are world champions! Can you believe it?
We'll hear from one of the stars of the GB team, Dan Bewley, very soon on an incredible weekend of Speedway in Manchester. We also look back on what seems a dim and distant memory now as Peterborough claimed the Premiership title.
Can't ask for any more. It's been amazing to be a part of this team, and what a way to go out on.
Speedway's oldest individual competition takes place this week. The Teesside Silver Helmet at Redcar is back in a competition that's been around for almost 100 years now. And we have the exclusive on No Breaks, No Fear. The lineup revealed a little later. We'll be joined by the Bears co-promoter Jitendra Duffill, who'll reveal all. And it's Poole Pirates who are the first through to the Championship playoff final after defeating Leicester. We'll hear from Leicester's Stuart Dixon, and we'll hear from Neil Middleditch of Poole, along with Danian Hume as well, a little later on No Breaks, No Fear.
No breaks, no fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
Welcome along then. Not long left of the official Speedway season now, but still quite a bit of action to get in over the next couple of weeks. And what a week it's been for British Speedway, with Great Britain's Speedway team crowned world champions for the first time since 1989 at the Speedway of Nations. Youngsters Robert Lambert and Dan Bewley, both products of British Speedway's National Development League, raced to victory in a dramatic grand final shootout against Poland in the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations at a sold-out National Speedway Stadium in Manchester. Ty Woffenden crashed out of day one, and Bellevue racer Dan Bewley came in for the injured triple world champion. After coming through the last chance race-off against Denmark, they knew avoiding last place in the final would hand them the world title.
Who will be world champions? Will it be Poland? Will it be Great Britain? Here we go! And the tape size of Smarsik has got there, and now Janowski's going to try the outside run. Great Britain cannot afford to hold the inside. Janowski's coming round. Poland are looking good here, and now Smarsik goes on. Janowski's coming off. Janowski's off. Great Britain are going to be world champions. Great Britain are going to be world champions. Janowski is up, but Great Britain are going to be crowned champions of the world. Wow, look at this as Lambert goes wide. Smarsik up the inside, but now Great Britain are 2 laps away from being world champions.
What a moment it is. Unbelievable there with Metzer Janowski getting off the bike, running into trouble. In actual fact, Bartosz Smarsik got in his way. And that caused all sorts of problems. But they're going to pick up the gold. It's going to be champions of the world in the Speedway of Nations. And Poland will miss out. Once again, what a moment.
What a moment for Britain. Great Britain are world champions. Can you believe it? I've been saying all weekend long, it doesn't matter what happens in the 42 heats. It's all about what happens in a 1-minute moment of a grand final. Janowski lost control, lost the motorbike, and Great Britain avoid that last place, and Great Britain are world champions in the Monster Energy FIM Speedway of Nations.
All 4 riders in the GB squad are products of the National Development League and have worked their way through Speedway's ranks. Robert Lambert scored 32 of Great Britain's 64 points, and having received that trophy, he wasn't letting it go.
Hi everyone, so we're just here now with this beauty. Finally, it's took all this time. Team GB, we've finally done it. Thanks to everyone's support today, and we're definitely going to put this in a safe cabinet, and we're going to have a great night. Thanks to everyone's support. It's been incredible. Woo!
The last time a British Speedway team claimed a gold medal in a World Championships was in 1989, 32 years ago. And that was a team that boasted the likes of Jeremy Doncaster, Kelvin Tatum, Paul Thorpe, Simon Wigg and Simon Cross. Those names now replaced by Dan Bewley, Robert Lambert, Ty Woofenden and Tom Brennan. Well, after the dust settled, Dan Bewley has been reflecting on an amazing weekend of Speedway at the National Speedway Stadium.
Well, Dan Bewley, how does it feel to be a big part of one of the biggest moments in British Speedway, Speedway of Nations champions?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's still a bit fresh. It hasn't quite sunk in yet, but it took 4 of us. 4 of us got the job done. Over 2 days. It was an awesome team effort, and it's just crazy, really.
Yeah, obviously going into that final as well against Palin, they were the major favourites, so it was pressure off in a way.
Yeah, never really thought about it too much, and we got heat advantage in the first race, me and Rob, so it kind of showed we could do it, and then going in the final, we knew just whatever happens, and just go out and just try and split them or beat one of them, and just don't finish last. That was the plan. So we kind of. Well, I knew that was what was happening after the first lap, and Magic went down. I knew just bring it home, but Rob hadn't seen it. He was charging for the win, so I was just watching him, thinking, don't get into too much trouble, just bring it on home. But we got the job done.
I say pressure off, but obviously with the crowd and the backing that you had, obviously you knew the expectation and the hope was there. But probably the support the supporters gave you at the National Speedway Stadium got you through as well.
Yeah, it was a tough old night with the rain we had, and get to pull some brave moves out on the track, and we had awesome support all night all weekend, I should say, from the crowd, and I think that wasn't just the English team, that was there was fans from every country there, and they were all just supporting just the riders, not so much any team, just everybody.
Does that say a lot about you as well? Obviously you weren't fully involved in the racing in day one, and then obviously that horrific crash with Woofy on event 1 as well. So to get the call up so late on and still produce the goods, what does that say about yourself, do you think?
Yeah, it was pretty tough watching just an awesome meeting, the best racing I've ever seen at Bellevue, and then see Ty have a horrible crash like that, and then you kind of thinking like, well, I could be in now, and we kind of didn't really know till the following morning how he was going to be, so it was just a waiting game, and just try and be ready just in case, and unfortunately for Ty, he was what a pain, so we had to step on in, but he got us the points on the first day, and then me and Rob and Tom as well, we got it in the second day, so it was just awesome that we were able to do that, to bring in a reserve and to still win. I think it's extra special.
Yeah, when you had that gold medal in your hand as well, obviously you've worked your way up from the very bottom of the National League as well. Obviously had some horrific injuries a couple of years back, which you had to really fight hard to get back from as well. So when you had that medal in your hand, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was just special ever from the moment, not even from the moment crossing the line, just from the moment I seen Magic go down, you're gutted for him, you'd like to battle all the way to the finish, all 4 of us, but just from that moment you kind of think, like we're 1 foot in the door, and then across the line, and you've done it, and then from that moment on for the rest of the night was just special, and we were lost for words for a little bit, but it was just a huge achievement for everybody in Team GB, and I think this is the 6th season since I started, so not long ago in the National League, so it's pretty cool looking back.
Yeah, obviously the Great Britain Speedway team as well, they've been putting the efforts in behind the scenes for a few years now, and ultimate reward for them as well.
Yeah, they haven't really been in it very long, just the past few years, and they've been pretty successful since. A couple of medals and to get a gold for everybody, it's awesome. So yeah, it was just a full team effort. 4 riders and then everyone behind that. Physios and training and everyone's mechanics as well. It was hard work getting the bikes going, but everyone just got together and we made it work.
Yeah, and obviously 32 years of that drought coming to an end at long last as well. But everyone behind the scenes feels that this is just the start of something special now.
Yeah, I hope so. And 32 years is a long time ago. I don't think any of us were born then. And I think we're probably the youngest team by far, even with Ty. And then if you look at the second day, we're like, our average age was about 21 or 20 or something. It's pretty crazy thinking about that. So hopefully that's not the last, and we can carry this on.
Dan Bewley, many congratulations, Speedway of Nations gold medalist.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, the future is indeed bright, and some of the upcoming talent that we have in the youth ranks of British Speedway equally exciting, and some of those get to have a crack at Bartosz Szmaszlik themselves on Wednesday night in that international test match which is taking place at Glasgow. Of course, for Great Britain, Ty Woofenden is ruled out following his injuries that he received on the first day of the Speedway of Nations in Manchester, so Chris Harris comes into the Great Britain lineup. So the team for Great Britain will be at number 1, Chris Harris, Tom Brennan at number 2, Dan Bewley at 3, Adam Ellis at 4, Robert Lambert at 5, and Jordan Palin at 6. For Poland, number 1 will be Dominik Kubera, Tobias Musielak at number 2, Maciej Janowski at number 3, Jakub Miskowiak at number 4, Bartosz Szmaszlik at 5, and Victor Lampard at number 6. It gets underway 7:30 Wednesday evening, and of course there is a live stream in 2 languages, in fact, as well, in English and in Polish, which is going to be a big hit, I'm sure, among the Polish community. And of course, there'll be plenty turning out for that match, I'm sure, as well at Ashfield. And we'll bring you a reaction to that, I'm sure, on next week's episode of No Breaks, No Fear, which will be the last one for the season, of course. Such is the position we're in at this time of year. Still to come on No Breaks, No Fear. I know it seems like a distant memory, but you remember Peterborough? They won the Premiership title against Bellevue in what was an awesome evening of racing. In fact, that whole fixture, both legs of that Premiership playoff final, were absolutely top draw. We will speak to those involved at Peterborough. We'll also get the thoughts of Tom Brennan as well of Bellevue. And we have the lineup revealed exclusively on this podcast. Hear it here before you'll get it anywhere else for the Teesside Silver Helmet, which is a big fixture happening at Redcar this Friday and features some very well-known names among that lineup as well. Co-promoter at Redcar, Jitendra Duffill, will be with us to reveal the full 16 riders taking part in Speedway's oldest individual competition. That's all on the way on No Breaks, No Fear.
No Breaks, No Fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
I'm Ian Brannan. Welcome along to No Breaks, No Fear. Still to come, the lineup for the Redcar Teesside Silver Helmet, which is taking place this Friday. First of all, we'll look back at last Thursday. Peterborough were crowned Premiership champions with a 10-point aggregate win over Bellevue in a memorable grand final. The Panthers won the second leg 51-39 in front of a packed house at the East of England Arena, turning around their 2-point deficit in Manchester on Monday. The Aces had doubled their overall advantage after 4 races of the return, but the home side dominated the mid-stages of the meeting with 3 5-1s between heats 6 and 10. Skipper Scott Nicholls and rising star youngster Jordan Palin clinched the title with a 4-2 in heat 14 after the Panthers had briefly been delayed by a stunning ride by Aces number 1 Dan Bewley to come from the back and win heat 13.
And Peterborough Panthers are going to be crowned 2021 Premiership Speedway champions, and it is Scott Nicholls who takes the win in heat 14. Let the celebrations begin for the Peterborough Panthers, who are British Speedway Premiership champions.
Coming up, we'll hear from some of the stars of that Peterborough side, including captain Scott Nicholls, youngster Jordan Palin, Bjarne Pedersen and Michael Palm Toft, of course, who did the business despite riding with broken fingers for the last few meetings. First of all, though, to the man who let out the biggest sigh at the East of England arena, and that was Rob Lyon. He's speaking to Dave Rowe.
Rob, you've just let out an enormous sigh, and that is the stress, I think, of the last probably 4 weeks or so. Juggling, injuries, reserves, everything else. And you are champions. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic, Dave. It's you're right. As you know, it's been a juggle since Ulrich, bless him, was injured. RR, we've been covering it all our matches, and pretty much. And it's been a juggle, but we've got there and we've got over the line, and we deserve it. The boys have been absolutely fantastic all year.
As it was, your tactics from the playoffs, from finishing top to pick Wolverhampton when you knew that hands would be strong there, and then Bjarne obviously at Bellevue. But you must have been a bit concerned with Bellevue's record here.
Yeah, we obviously were. I think whichever way you looked, it was going to be whatever decision you made. It was always going to be a difficult tie. There's 4 good teams in that playoff. But we had to believe in our own ability and take advantage of what we felt was the right thing to do. And we knew that there's a good chance that Bellevue would get there if they beat Sheffield, or whoever it was would be a difficult final because both teams have won at our place. But we felt if it was Bellevue, we can compete there. We did that on Monday again, and we felt that third time lucky we got to turn them over, and we certainly did that tonight.
What's the turning point? I guess it was heat 12 at Bellevue. You were 10 points down. That could easily have gone the other way, and that momentum shift happened there, and it just carried on tonight.
Yeah, it did. It psychologically, it gave us a great chance to kick on tonight and win the tie, win the championship. And I think again we saw that tonight at mid-meeting how we rallied and started to just edge away, and it was enough. We had enough in the tank in the end to get us over the line, which was great.
That's Rob Lyon speaking to Dave Rowe. Of course, let's not forget that Peterborough were perhaps scoffed at slightly, shall we say, when their team was announced at the start of the season. I don't think anybody really thought of them as serious contenders. And we will get Rob Lyon's thoughts on the whole Dad's Army thing in just a little while. First of all, let's speak to some of the riders, starting with Captain Scott Nicholls speaking to Dave.
Scott, the celebrations have just about begun to die down. Is it sunk in yet?
No. No, it's these are real special occasions. It's kind of the euphoria of winning and taking it all in. It's kind of the next few days, and your phone will go berserk with the messages, which that's unreal. That's the thing that keeps you going, and you realise just how much support you've got.
What was said after the first leg? There was such a hard effort. I mean, the Wolverhampton semi-final was exciting, but the meeting on Monday was sensational. You came back with that dramatic comeback. What was said in the week before tonight's meeting?
Just that we'd had the momentum. We'd shown so much character and spirit to come back like that. Obviously losing hands early on, we were already without Uli, and to be 10 points down. Personally, partway through the meeting at Bellevue, I was like, oh man, this is like the writing's on the wall. Not a defeatist, but just thinking, geez, this is going to be a tough battle because we know how good they are here. But we dug in. Everybody just focused on their thing, and that week we just said, like, on the WhatsApp group, just let's keep this going. Let's win this title. It's we all fired each other up, and it showed.
A great final for Speedway. I mean, everyone had such a terrible year last year. You couldn't race, we couldn't talk about it, and the entertainment and the commitment from both teams in this final was something we've not seen for a long time.
Oh, 100%. Even the semi-finals were fantastic, but yeah, the final had everything, had controversy, to and fro. It was a brilliant competition. Great advert for British Speedway, so fortunate it was covered on Eurosport, and but for me personally, it was the fact that we had so many fans in attendance here. That was unreal. I've not seen a stadium in British Speedway like that for an awful long time, so let's hope a big percentage of those guys come back in 2022.
And finally, to captain a top league winning team once again, so many years on, it must feel great.
Oh, it does. The feeling never changes. It's a huge honour. I'm always privileged and honoured to be the captain, but as I always say, especially with teams like this, everybody plays a captain's role. So I've just got the little C beside my name, and that's pretty much it.
Great job, Scott. Thank you very much. We'll see you next year.
We will do. Thank you.
Well, of course, that win will have extra significance for Bjarne Pedersen, who was rounding off his career with a fantastic performance. And, of course, winning the league in Britain has to be one hell of a way to sign off. And he's been reflecting on that night of Speedway at the East of England Arena.
Bjarne, for your last meeting, a real special season. What a way to finish the season and your career.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't ask for any more. It's been amazing to be a part of this team, and what a way to go out on.
And right to the very end, you were racing very hard. There were some really tough races out there tonight.
Yeah, they never give up, and we know that it's going to be tough, but it's just nice to not need to go out and hit 15 to make it happen. So the captain, he did a great job in hit 14, and that was fantastic. So what a night.
Going back to the winter, when you agreed to come back to the UK to ride for Peterborough, were you talking about you could do something like this as a team, to come back for one final season and try and win something big?
Yeah, I was very pleased with to see how the team was put together, and have Rob as well as the team man. I was quite pleased with everything, to be fair. And it's early season, it's a long season, so we not really know how we're getting on. But for sure, there'll always be a good team spirit in this camp. So like I said before, if one was struggling, there was always someone to take over in this team, and someone was more into big track, someone was into small track, and that was what made us so good this season.
And when you see an atmosphere like that, the crowd's going crazy, I bet you wish you're going to carry on for another 10 years.
Yeah, to be a part of this team and been fantastic. It's been so good team spirit, and even mechanics been helping each other. Like, we also see that we are surprised time after time. We was 10 points down at Bellevue, and we pulled it back to only 2. So that's just been a part. This just being like that the whole season.
Bjarne, congratulations, fabulous career. Take a lot of credit from it, and great season here with Peterborough.
Thank you so much.
They make Speedway riders tough, don't they? And in what other sport would you have someone racing a bike at 70 miles an hour with broken fingers? That's exactly what Michael Palm Toft did last week, racing on Monday for Peterborough, Tuesday for Redcar. He had Wednesday off, and then on Thursday back in action again, helping Peterborough win the Premiership title, all while riding with broken fingers. Thankfully, he's now able to fully recover and leave the bikes alone for a little bit, but he's been reflecting on an epic performance to help seal the deal for Peterborough, and he's speaking with Dave too.
Got to pull something out the back. Knew it was important, so I didn't want to let the team down even with an injury, so yeah, good.
I mean, the first leg was tough, came back 2 points down. Bellevue were always going to give it a go, and they've had such a good record around here, but tonight didn't seem to match. The Panthers always come from the back.
Yeah, the other 2 times they've been here, the track was different. So yeah, I think there was a bit more dirt on it when they came here, so I think it played into our favour a bit.
And the atmosphere from the crowd when you were coming from the back and the 5-1s, unbelievable atmosphere.
Yeah, good to see the crowd, the fans, like how many there was. That's what we want for a final.
What's it been like to be part of this team? It seems to be a real special spirit amongst the team.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. I wanted to win this when I saw the team, like everybody was riding it off. I didn't. It's a really good team on paper. I just wanted to win.
And now, how long will it take for that hand to heal? Are you going to be back in a few weeks' time, hopefully? I know it's the winter now, obviously.
Depends. I might have to have an operation on it. I need another X-ray, and then we'll decide then, because the bone is not connected at all. It's hanging. So.
But you just came back every meeting. You had to pull out at Wolverhampton, but after that you were back for every meeting.
Yeah, they gave me the number 1 jacket, and that was my goal at the start of the season. Didn't tell anybody, and yeah, I got it, and I wanted to prove that I am a number 1. So yeah, go out and do my best.
Well, Michael, fantastic season. We've seen you involved in some brilliant races and a great team. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
If anybody deserves a rest, it's certainly Michael Palm Toft, who an incredible battling performance despite having those broken fingers, as he detailed. Of course, he's also been riding for Redcar as well. And still to come on No Brakes, No Fear, the lineup for the Teesside Silver Helmet, which is a big event that's happening this Friday at the Media Prima Arena. We will be speaking with Jitendra Duffill, one of the Red Redcar co-promoters very soon. First of all, let's hear from the youth of Peterborough, because Peterborough, as we know, all about the experience, been dubbed Dad's Army, and we'll get Rob Lyon's thoughts on that moniker very soon. But we mustn't forget that it's not all been about the experience. There has been youth in the Peterborough team as well, in the form of Jordan Palin, who we must remember is still 17 years old, has himself a Premiership winners medal, and surely he's learned lots from having such experienced talent around the pits. He's been reflecting on his season with Dave Rowe.
Jordan Palin, the youngest member of Dad's Army. What a night, what a season, and you played a big part with that race win.
Yeah, definitely a bit lost for words. Was written off at the start of the season for title winners, but we proved them all wrong. And what can I say? First year in professional league racing, I've got a league title to my name. It's absolutely amazing.
And what an incredible atmosphere from the fans as well.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all the fans. When I was lining up to start line, all I could hear was them. So I just want to say thank you for sticking with us throughout the season, and hopefully we'll see you next season. We
know what a talent you are. You've shown that in previous years, coming through the youth ranks, but to step up into the Premiership, massive move for you, real tough racing, but over the year you must feel like you've really progressed.
Yeah, I feel like I've progressed really nicely, and I owe a lot to the other guys in the team for teaching me a lot this year and leeching off their knowledge a bit. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone, and I just want to keep moving forward.
Yeah, and that hopefully will continue with the Premiership next season?
Yeah, hopefully I want to stay in this league and just keep getting more points each meeting and just climbing up the ladder and hopefully to the top.
Well, superb. Great to watch you progress, and we look forward to more of it next year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year, I think, for Jordan Palin and continuing his development. And as I mentioned, still only 17 years old. He just passed his driving test. But he's going to be lining up for the Great Britain team on Wednesday against Poland in that test match. And that's going to be some terrific experience for him to be part of that team and taking to the track against the world's best, of course. Let's have the final thought then from Rob Lyon. Peterborough dubbed Dad's Army through the course of this season. I think one or two people were sceptical as towards their chances in the Premiership with a team of experience over youth, and maybe not always the most fashionable of teams at the start of the season, but has certainly shown that experience wins in the end. Here's Rob once again.
Just tell us on the season as a whole. Tell us about the Dad's Army stuff. It started as a bit of a joke. The journalists were writing you off, but it's something that you turned massively in your favour. It really worked out for you in the end.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the boys have taken it on board, you know, and we often in the WhatsApp group we often discuss stuff like that. You know, Dad's Army this, Dad's Army that, and it's just a tag we've sort of embraced, if you know what I mean. So it's been great, and they've been a great bunch to work with, fantastic bunch to work with, and a special mention for Ulrich Ostergaard, because you know he is a big part of this team, and his contribution at the start of the year before he was sadly injured is as important as anybody else. And it's a shame he's not here to celebrate with us, but hopefully he was watching and can celebrate at home in Denmark.
I must ask you about reserve changes. Bjarne Pedersen, who is retiring and put in the most commitment once again, and you bring Jordan Palin, your rising star, into Heat 7, and he goes and wins it.
Yeah, and Geordie was, on gate 3 in that race, and we discussed that at length with him, and we knew 1 and 3 was pretty good, and Geordie can trap, and he's quick enough, and he popped out. He did it at Bellevue, he did it again tonight, so it's good.
Just finally, it must have been a big call for you to come back into team management. Would have been for 2020, held over to 2021, but to win a top league title, that must make it all worthwhile.
Absolutely, makes it very sweet, and I can't thank the promotion and the track staff here at Peterborough have been absolutely first class, and it's been a joy to be a part of.
It's been a great team to watch this season, deservedly champions. Well done.
Thank you, cheers.
Big congratulations to Rob Lyon and the whole of the affectionately known Dad's Army, who have claimed the Premiership title 2021. Not to be for the Bellevue Aces then. It means their wait for a league title goes on yet further. 1993 was the last time they claimed a league crown, and Tom Brennan has been reflecting on an unfortunate night for the Aces.
Yeah, very, very disappointed. We obviously can't lie, obviously we're all gutted. We always knew it was going to be tough. We always knew that Peterborough were a very strong team, and it's very unfortunate because we have come here two times previous and we sort of cleaned up. So for us to come here, I think the pressure was on. They had a strong team, and obviously we never had Brady. So for us, it's disappointing. But we all worked hard, we all put 100% in, and that's all you can ask.
Yeah, tonight too in the second leg, just a lack of race winners really, wasn't it?
Exactly, race winners are everything. You can do everything you want trying to get seconds and thirds, but we need those race wins, and I think Dan showed us how it's done. But unfortunately, we were sort of a step behind, and it was hard to try and find not only the setup but also the mental. Like the crowd's big here. I've never ridden in a crowd this big before, and for everyone, it's such a big step up from what normal league racing is. This is the ultimate in the whole of British Speedway. So for everyone, it's a massive, even for the older guys, it's a massive experience step. And for us, it's just to try and keep forward and focus on next year now. That's all we can do.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's certainly been an up and down season for the Aces, but just to reach the grand final with some of the things you've had to contend with is a positive in itself, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely don't get into a final from not being good all year. So for us, we obviously had our ups and had our downs, but we obviously dealt with those downs good, and we managed to come here with a pretty, obviously sort of disheartened team without Brady. I mean, he's obviously such a big part in the pits and stuff. So for us, it's very disappointing, and there's myself personally, I had a pretty good night, but that doesn't really make up for what's happened. So all unfairness to Peterborough, they're a better team on the night, and fair play to them.
Yeah, and just finally, how would you sum up your first season as a rising star in the Premiership?
Great, fantastic. Obviously to have this opportunity in the first place. Obviously to have the Rising Star programme. I probably wouldn't be stood here if that wasn't about. So I can only thank everyone involved. Personally, it's been pretty inconsistent. I think that's how I'd sum it up. I've had some really good highs and some really low lows. But again, it's all experience, and I can hope I can be back again here next year.
Well, after the league disappointments for Tom Brennan, there was joy, of course, helping the Great Britain Speedway team claim gold in the Speedway of Nations at the weekend. And congratulations to Tom, and good luck to him for the test match once again as well against Poland on the Wednesday night. Reaction to that, no doubt, next week on No Brakes, No Fear. Coming next, we're going to announce the lineup for the Teesside Silver Helmet, which is Speedway's oldest individual tournament, and it's been going for almost 100 years. We'll find out a little bit more about it, and we'll reveal the 16 riders who are going to be battling it out this Friday at the Media Prima Arena. We'll be joined by the Red Car co-promoter Jitendra Duffill for the big reveal next on No Brakes, No Fear.
No Brakes, No Fear, the official British Speedway podcast.
Still to come, we'll hear from Neil Middleditch and Daniel Hume of Poole after the Pirates claimed their place in the Championship playoff final. They'll face either Edinburgh or Glasgow, who race against each other in the coming days. Right now, to a competition that's taking place at Redcar on Friday. The Teesside Silver Helmet is Speedway's longest running individual tournament. It dates back nearly 100 years, and it returns this Friday, featuring 16 top riders are going to be battling it out for that prize of, well, we'll find out what the prize is in a moment. But first of all, to Jitendra Duffill, Red Car co-promoter who's putting the event on. And this competition, as I mentioned, it's steeped in history and goes back as long as Speedway has been in that part of the northeast.
I wouldn't be surprised if my grandfather actually attended the very first one back in 1928. Yeah, we have a responsibility to make sure that we do this competition some justice. Like you said, it has a lot of history, and we're really proud to host it as well.
Now, I'm not sure what the exact story was, but there was a silver helmet involved at some point. The original silver helmet probably has gone long by the wayside, but what are the prizes on offer for the riders taking part, apart from the prestige?
Yeah, there's prize money there for everybody. So there is a lot of incentive for the riders to finish on top of the podium, and of course the honour of winning the silver helmet. You're correct. The original silver helmet did go missing somewhere along the line. We have tried to track that down without any success, but we've got another replacement there, and yeah, it's one that I'm really looking forward to. It's one of my favourite events of the year. It can usually be quite stressful when you've got team racing, but this is one that we as a promotion can sit back and enjoy, and yeah, it's really popular with supporters and riders too. We've had a lot of interest from riders to come and race in this.
Well, that's what we're here for. Let's get to it then. The lineup for the Teesside Silver Helmet, Speedway's oldest individual competition. 16 riders are going to be racing at Redcar on Friday night. And here they are in riding order, starting at number 1. Drum roll, please.
So we got Paul Stark.
Paul Stark, Ipswich and Kent rides at number 1. At number 2.
We've got Redcar's own Jordan Jenkins.
Number 3, another familiar face on Teesside this season.
It is Kings Lane and Redcar's Lewis Kerr at 3.
A rider next who is a big Northeast favourite, has ridden at Redcar before and is finishing his career, in fact, this season as well.
Yeah, we've got Aaron Summers racing. Interesting one because it could actually be his last appearance as a professional speedway rider in the UK, and of course he's got a long history with Redcar as well.
Okay, number 5. Now this is a new name. Explain this one to us.
So at number 5 is a young German talent called Norik Bladon. I think I've pronounced that correctly, but he raced in the World Under 21 finals this year and did very well. He finished 4th in 2 rounds. So it's always nice to have a new name amongst the lineup and certainly a new face on in the UK. But excited about this one. He certainly seems to have a very bright future, and I'm really looking forward to see what he can do.
And so is this the first time he'll have been to Redcar as well? Is this a first appearance for him?
It is, yeah. I believe he's maybe had a blast around the Scunthorpe training track when he was a bit younger. I know he has ties with Robbie Kessler, but it'll be his first appearance at Redcar.
Okay, exciting new talent. Norik Bladon at number 5. Number 6.
Ty Proctor at number 6. I know he stood down earlier in the year at Leicester, but and of course Kings Lynn, but he seems to have got that bug back. He raced in the Julie Lewis a few weeks ago and keen to come back and show us what he can do in the Silver Helmet.
Okay, at number 7. Now this is a bit of a coup considering the fixtures that he's had on his plate though over the last week.
Yeah, so it's Chris Harris. Chris is the track record holder at the Media Prima Arena, an out-and-out racer as well. So there's usually a lot of entertainment when he races the shill on Teesside. So really, really pleased to have been able to pull that one off.
Number 7 then, Bomber. Number 8.
Number 8, we've got Scunthorpe's Josh MacDonald. Again, he's shot up really well at our place. Very good gaiter, and he's another young Australian who seems to have a bright future.
At number 9, another a star that's just ridden purely in the Premiership this season, but he's coming to Redcar.
He is. So at number 9, we've got Wolverhampton's Luke Becker. He's another young talent, probably America's, I would say, brightest talent at the moment. Had a good year over in Poland, riding for Whoosh, and his first appearance at Redcar. Really excited to see what he can do as well.
Okay, at number 10, a rider who was recently gracing the Media Prima Arena shale and did a lot of damage against Redcar, but this time he's out for himself.
Yeah, so at number 10, it's Sheffield and Leicester's Kyle Howarth. Kyle was really keen to compete in the Silver Helmet this year, and entertaining rider. He knows the quickest way around our place as well, so he'll certainly be in the hunt for the trophy come the end of the evening.
A bit of home advantage, perhaps, number 11.
Yep, so Ipswich and our very own Jake Allen. Jake's had a great season with us, and he again will be capable of standing on top of the podium come the end of the evening. So, pleased to have Jake back.
Another rider that featured in the Premiership Grand Final just a week or so ago, also lining up in the Silver Helmets.
Yeah, another ex-Bear, Jai Etheridge. He moved on to Berwick after he'd raced for us, and he's come on leaps and bounds from there. So, he's another young talent, improving quickly and every year, and Jai will certainly be amongst it.
Okay, at number 13, a rider who has been around British Speedway for quite a while, and the captain of Scunthorpe.
He is, Simon Lambert. Simon, again, another rider who's really keen to come and show us what he can do. He was really fast when he came with Scunthorpe earlier in the year. In fact, he managed to pass Charles Wright in one of them. Not many people do that, so pleased to have him.
Speaking of which, at number 14.
Yeah, our very own captain, Charles Wright, previous winner. I think he won in 2017. So he'll starts one of the favourites, no doubt.
And at number 15, a rider that you signed for the Redcar Bears, but this will be the first time you'll have seen him in a home helmet colour, perhaps.
No, a rider that we signed initially to ride in 2021, Eric Riss. Eric obviously decided that he had fears over COVID, decided to step down, but later changed his mind. And Eric loves Redcar. He's very quick around our place, lightning out the gate, and again he'll start as another who could possibly win the meeting.
And finally, at number 16, something for the fans of your near neighbours.
Yeah, so it's again another ex-bear, Ben Barker. So Ben he's won our Best Race Celebration award the last 2 times we've held this event, which is something we introduced in 2018. Something again we're going to repeat this year, so he'll certainly start as favourites for that. Anybody who's seen his exploits in the past Silver Helmets will know that he's certainly got an imagination when it comes to his race celebrations.
Well, tell us more about that, because that is part of this competition. It's not all about the racing, is it? There, as you mentioned there, there's prizes for celebrations.
Yeah, we put a prize up for this 2018. We've had one of our partner sponsors, Echo Finishing Supplies, have come in and put up a £300 prize for the winner of that. But it just adds an extra dimension to the meeting, and the riders really embraced it. In the past, we saw everything from wheelies to donuts to burnouts to Ben Barker actually dressing up in our as our mascot Smoggy and doing a burnout. It got very interesting, and it was a lot of fun. Added a bit of a light touch to the meeting, so fans really seem to love that.
Excellent. So an extra £300 on the line for the best celebration. That's certainly an incentive, it has to be said. And a great lineup. That full 1 to 16 once again. Paul Stark at 1, Jordan Jenkins at 2, Lewis Kerr at 3, at 4, Aaron Summers, 5, that new rider from Germany, Norik Blodorn, Ty Proctor at 6, Chris Harris at 7, at 8, Josh McDonald, 9, Luke Becker, 10, Kyle Howarth, 11, Jake Allen, Jai Etheridge at 12, Simon Lambert 13, at 14, Charles Wright, Eric Riss 15, Ben Barker at 16. I'm sure you'll agree, a great lineup there on offer and a great night Speedway in store. 7:30 start time at the Media Prima Arena. If you can't make it, there will be a live stream available as well that you can purchase to watch the event live wherever you may be. And more details on that at the Redcar Bears website. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah. You just give a visit to the Redcar Bears website and you can watch it on there for the price of $9.99. So, we've got 2 excellent commentators, and the feedback so far has been really good. So lots of interest from other areas there. So I'm sure there's plenty there for everybody.
But I mean, $9.99 for an evening with me, I think that's a bargain, frankly. Possibly I should be paying you. Okay, well, that's a brilliant lineup. And of course, as well, a message particularly for the Redcar fans. The end of the season is approaching, and you've got your end of season shindig as well lined up for any fans that are able to make it.
That's right. So we've got that lined up on Friday the 5th of November. That's taking place at Middlesbrough Football Club's Riverside Stadium in their Legends Lounge. So that's a lovely venue overlooking the football pitch, and we would encourage any supporters to come along to that if they have the time.
And there's an announcement.
Yeah,
is that right?
You beat me to that there is. We've got quite an exciting announcement to make on that night. I'll let people use their own imagination and guessing as to what that might be, but it's something that I'm sure will be received very, very well by our supporters, and I'm very excited by it.
But it's not free Palmos with every season ticket.
It's something we can negotiate, but not at the moment. No. That's usually in the rider contracts.
Oh, well, naturally, I think it should be a rite of passage, if nothing else. Jitendra, thanks very much for joining us. Good luck with the event on Friday. The weather, by the way, looks pretty good as well. I think all things considered, and the stage set for a fantastic night of end of season speedway.
That's it. We see it as a fitting end to the season, and a great way to wrap it up. So it should be a great meet. Come along if you can.
That's the Teesside Silver Helmet this Friday night at the Media Prima Arena at Redcar. One other story to cover then, and that's Poole, who booked their place in the Championship Grand Final with an impressive 50-40 win at Leicester on Saturday. The Pirates had looked to be under some pressure with only a 6-point first leg lead, but they raced to crucial 5-1s in heats 4 and 5 at the Paul Chapman & Sons Arena to leave the Lions up against it. Steve Worrell top scored for the Pirates with 12 plus 1. Skipper Rory Schlein got 11, dropped just 1 point from 4 rides, and former Lion Cubs captain Daniel Hume contributed a vital 9 plus 2 from 5 outings at number 2. And he's been speaking after that meeting.
Daniel Hume, first and foremost, pulled through to the Championship Grand Final. How does that feel?
Oh mate, it's not just me, the whole team's buzzing. So it was going to be a big ask to come here, and what we had, we didn't know if it was going to be enough or not, but everyone dialed in and got the job done, and we're all buzzing.
I'm going to say, after the dominance that Poole have had around Wimborne Road, a lot of people thought that 6 points wasn't going to be enough against this Leicester side as well, but certainly came here to the East Midlands in fired up mood.
Definitely, like I said, we're all fired up, and it felt, even though we won by 6, it felt like we lost by 6. We're not down in the dumps, but we're feeling the pressure, and to come here and ride under pressure and just keep pulling away, and I think we hovered on about 10 on aggregate for some time, so to come away with that win and seal the deal, I think it was heat 13, was phenomenal.
Does it mean even more because obviously you were the regular league leaders and definitely didn't want to exit at this stage, did you?
Oh, not at all. We've worked so hard to get to where we are, and we said on track walk, we don't want to go out now. Stevie, obviously, they got into the final and obviously come second in league but lost on the night, and it's not a good feeling loading your bikes up when you've lost on the night and what could have gone through into obviously winning the championship. So to come here tonight and do that was brilliant, mate.
We have to talk about your own night individually as well. Obviously it's been a fantastic season as part of the Rising Star programme, up into the main body of the team and paid double figures here at your old track tonight.
It was a wicked night for me. I worked hard, Gary worked hard, so I'd like to thank him for that, and it's good to see my dad here. He's been working hard, so to have him on the other side of the fence was brilliant, and it's just one of those nights. Enjoyed it as soon as I got here, and rode my socks off, and I'm buzzing, mate.
Congratulations to you and the Pirates, Dan.
Cheers, thank you.
The first year in the Championship for the Poole Pirates, and straight through to the playoff final, and they'll meet either Edinburgh or Glasgow. That has yet to be decided. Let's hear from Neil Middleditch right now, speaking with Ryan Guest.
Well, Neil Middleditch, through to the Championship Grand Final. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels fantastic. I mean, I've been here so many times in finals and everything, but my nerves never cease to be any less, and delighted with the effort tonight. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, 6 points, it's you'd like to think it was enough. And it proved to be. I mean, we my pre-meeting chat was let's try and hit them hard and make them chase us, and that's what we did. We were getting good tonight, where Leicester were getting really good at our place and they outdid us. But no, a great team effort. Special mention to Daniel Hume, number 2, tough number, rode out of his socks.
Yeah, like you say, a 6-point advantage with how dominant you have been at Wimborne Road. Obviously, people expected a bit more than that, but like you say, the boys certainly came here in determined mood.
Yeah, that's right. We really did want this. We were disappointed on Wednesday, and we all had a chat, and we got a little group going, and we were all really pumped up for tonight, and it worked out brilliantly. I'm very, very pleased for everybody, for the fans as well.
Yeah, Ray, you mentioned Daniel Hume, obviously a great night at number 2. Also, Benjamin Basso is one of his first appearances here as well, and another big night at reserve.
Yeah, he's a tremendous little rider, Benjamin. I've got a lot of time for him. He's very, very typical Danish mentality, very, very professional. Very disappointed he doesn't win races, but everybody played their part tonight. I mean, it's no iron team, and 7 boys got us here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a frantic end to the season now. A couple more long trips involved as well.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't been doing them all season with Javi, but I think I'll be making the trips up for the finals. That's for sure.
Congratulations then to the Poole Pirates. Neil Middleditch there referring to him, but Gary Havelock also heavily involved with the Poole Pirates, looking after their northern adventures through the course of this season. So it'll be fascinating to see who they're going to face, whether it'll be Edinburgh or Glasgow. And of course, the two of those 40 out in the Knockout Cup last weekend, and Edinburgh making it through to the final, pulling back 16 points against Glasgow at Armadale. There's a few twists and turns to come in those fixtures between those two over the next week or so, I'm sure. What about Leicester then? They've had an impressive season, but ultimately failed to get to the playoff final at the end of it all. And Stuart Dixon has been reflecting on the season with Ryan Guest.
Well, Stuart Dixon, how disappointing is it for the season to end like that?
Yeah, obviously you've got disappointment. We thought we'd kept the tie alive at Wednesday night at Wimborne Road, and unfortunately tonight the Pirates were just that bit better than us. There's no doubt they deserved their win. Fair point of view, we've had a decent season. We finished third in the league, semi-finals, knockout cup, semi-final of playoffs. Just weren't good enough, unfortunately, and sometimes you've got to put your hand up and say, beat me the better team.
Yeah, like you say, only 6 points down. You thought you'd got a real chance here tonight. How much of a killer blow were those 5-1s against in heats 4 and 5?
That's where we lost the momentum and they gained the momentum. You could sense it in the pits. 2 5-1s, heat 4 and heat 5. The pendulum swung really into Poole's hands. We never recovered. You could tell with the crowd, the atmosphere went as well. Even when we were winning a couple of races here or there, you never get the same reaction. We had a chat with the talk. Sometimes, as a team manager, deep down, there's not going to be your night, and I just felt it was one of those nights after about heat 4 or 5. But I ain't going to select my riders. They've done really well. We've had you won't make comparisons to 2019. That's what I'm doing, and we never come up to the standards that we set. But we still had a decent season overall, and we had a lot of entertainment, which is, I think, what Speedway is about too.
Yeah, how much was it a blow missing Hans Andersen for this semi-final?
Well, you always want your full team. Bomber was great for us on Wednesday night. Tonight was just an indifferent night for him. But, these things happen. Danny King had an indifferent night for them on Wednesday. Tonight he was sensational. Sometimes it happens, unfortunately. Hans, obviously, he's very good. I think he's one of our strongest average riders around here. So, we wish him well. I seen him on the TV the other night. We wish him well. I can't be disrespectful with Bomber because he tried his hardest. But Hans, would it have made enough difference? I'm not convinced it would have done. I think, unfortunately, they seem to have the upper hand on us in most departments tonight.
Yeah, and just finally, yourself, obviously very ambitious as we know, and the people behind the scenes as well. So a result like this, an ending like this, will only make you more determined to head to 2022 now.
Yeah, it will be. I'll be back for next season, hopefully. I don't foresee any problems. We have no divine right to win. I know that, and you've got to have a sense of realism when you come short, and you just got to dust yourself down. And it'll be sore for a couple of days, and I'll think about it in the drive home tonight, and I know it will be, but I know be long. I don't have time to dwell or feel sorry for myself, or I need to put a team together for 2022, and obviously things will move pretty quickly in that. I am watching things developing, riders here, 1 or 2, maybe a rider abroad, don't know, but we'll work with the owners. They've given me great backing throughout, and hopefully we can bring some more success to the club. But we don't have a guarantee that we're going to get success. Speedway is a funny game, but we don't want to get into the habit of not winning either. You know what I mean?
Commiserations tonight, and many thanks for speaking to us as well.
Thank you. Cheers.
Stuart Dixon of the Leicester Lions. So, the remaining fixtures this week are as follows. Wednesday night, Great Britain versus Poland in that test match at Ashfield. Of course, if you're not able to make that in person, that is available as a live stream. If you check out the Glasgow Tigers website, you'll get all the info there. 2 commentaries as well in English and in Polish. On Thursday night, Glasgow versus Edinburgh in the Championship Playoff Semi-Final 1. And then all back to Armadale the night after, Friday night, Edinburgh v Glasgow for part 2 of the Championship Playoff Semi-Final. The Teesside Silver Helmet, as we've discussed and revealed the full 16 riders involved in that at Redcar, also 7:30, and that too has a live stream, as does the Edinburgh-Glasgow match as well, by the way. Then on Saturday, a very busy day because the Peter Craven Memorial takes place at Bellevue, Manchester at 7:30. Edinburgh versus Poole in the Championship Knockout Cup Final 1 at 2:30 in the afternoon. And then it's Armadale versus Mildenhall in the National Development League following that fixture. And at the Paul Chapman and Sons Arena, it's Leicester versus Bellevue Colts in the NDL on Saturday night. And then on Monday next week, the Ladbrokes Olympique at Wolverhampton, another great Speedway tradition. And then after that, only 2 matches left. Kent versus Bellevue in the NDL, and then on the 27th, Poole versus Edinburgh in the Championship Knockout Cup Final 2. Of course, we still have the playoff final in the Championship to come as well that's yet to be put into the fixture list. So we're not quite there yet, but nearly at the end of the list of 2021's fixtures. And we'll be back with another episode of No Breaks, No Fear next Tuesday at 8 o'clock for a review of all of that action over the coming 7 days. And don't forget, keep up to date with everything that's happening in British Speedway at speedwaygb.co.uk. And No Breaks, No Fear is a Nigel Pearson Media Limited production for British Speedway.
No Breaks, No Fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.